What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Aged Out Reacts with the two hosts of the Aged Out podcast, Mike Fantini and
Evan Worrell.
And today it's finally happening. The long-awaited episode with the great Mike McIntosh. I almost screwed his name up. But before
It's got the same name as you.
it was I stumbled. It happens. So before we get into the episode and welcome Mike on here officially, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know what you think about the video. We're checking out the Cavaliers 2021. The video is from Innovative Percussion. Thank you for this amazing video, amazing quality video, and letting us use it. Hopefully. We'll see. And check out LoneStarPercussion.com. Use the discount code AgedOut. Save yourself $10 on any order of $50 or more. Check out the podcast on all podcast services. The Aged Out Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us there. Never miss an update on the content that we put out there. And I think patreon.com/AgedOutPodcast. If you want to support us financially at all, you can give as little as $1 a month. Helps us slowly upgrade equipment. Awesome. That's it. So, Mike, how are you today, sir?
I'm great. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can. Evan?
And hear you loud and clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am good.
Dude.
I am just trying to reacclimate to life after drum corps. Even though I didn't go to finals for the first time, I still missed it. I still have that, DCI hangover. That.
So you didn't make it to finals this year?
I didn't go. I'm, man, with the Delta variant, I'm fully vaccinated. I went and saw the Corps this summer, and then they came to me, and I actually had a chance to teach them in Minnesota.
Nice.
When I left them in Adrian, I got really sick. It wasn't COVID, but just made me worry. And we've got a 4 and an 8-year-old, man. There's just no reason to risk it. We've been so careful. So, no, I didn't go, unfortunately. It really killed me.
Is this the first time you haven't gone, and how long?
It's the first one I missed since 1988.
Jeez. The streak has been broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, but you got to do what you got to do.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I think that we can. Maybe count the streak as competitive seasons. You won't You won't miss. So
no, I'm already putting in for 30 days, 35 days for next summer. 25 days. We'll see. You gotta, when you got kids and a working wife, you got to schedule that stuff a year out in advance.
For sure. So, like I said before, we're watching Cavaliers 2021 with the man behind the magic, a big part of it. I'm going to open this beer before we get into this, so hold on.
Yeah, you got to enjoy.
There it is.
Yum.
All right. Evan opened his, but we haven't fixed his mic yet to make it pick up.
I will say one of the men and women involved in making this season memorable for sure. Definitely a team effort.
Definitely. All right.
Oh, for sure.
I'm ready to jump into this.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like a lot of the staff too was different than maybe a normal year where you'd have people moving in and out. But it seemed like the dudes that were in there were just in there like the whole time.
Yeah, they were junkyard dogging it. I mean, that's the only way to do it. I mean, especially since, Monty did such an incredible job, and Dr. Vaughn and Teen with the, protocol with in and out. So we had to be really smart about it and adhere to those rules, which we thought was the right thing to do for sure. But yeah, I was very proud of the group getting through the summer with 0 cases.
Nice. Very
no
good.
stress. And that goes to the admin for just kicking ass. Dr. Brenda Brack, she's our head of health and wellness. She's absolutely amazing. So.
That's awesome.
Sick.
Yep.
Well, I guess not sick, but sick in awesome terms.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Sick in the good way.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this.
Let's jump into this bad boy video from IP. Check out the IP channel, by the way. Link in the description of the video to the original video without us jabbering over it. Go support them. Great channel. Great company. Here we go. Nice montage intro.
All rookie snare line.
Really?
All right. All rookies. Woo!
Is this the beginning of the show?
Love the Fresh Prince vocals.
No, this is the top of the closer.
Okay.
Which is Sing Sing Sing. There's the pimp walk. we put the snares in on that. It was just so cool.
Yeah. I actually watched the whole show a few days ago. I loved that last movement. Just the whole jam of it.
Ooh, you know, those isolated drags.
I had to get depth with this swing, you know, because basically it's just the left hand that's moving. The right hand's still playing straight eighth notes, but getting that sensation to feel normal.
Dig the bass lick.
Cool. Pause that.
Pause it really quick.
Yeah.
Gotta throw Russell Wharton some love. So the opener was Themata by Carnival, and I just could not wrap my head around that tune. It was a weird tempo for drumming. I mean, it was straight, you know, duple bass, so it really limited how to be created, a lot of the trillet aspect. But so I wrote the ballad, and I wrote this first, this sing sing sing. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to do something that was cool and got back to what was important to the core. The first year that they were in Rosemont was 1981. That's when they played Sing Sing Sing. So we brought it back and, you know, tried to keep it close to the original, but, you know, modernizing it, obviously. But that bass break was written by Russell Wharton. I thought he did a great job. To all you young, you know, arrangers out there, composers, he did a good job. You can hear them splitting stuff up, and then they'd come back and anchor it, you know. So they'd swim, and then they'd come back to the island, like they'd play the unisons and be off into some other split, so they'd anchor the split again with unisons, and then they'd jump back into the craziness. And man, they rocked the split on finals, where you had, like, you know, grandmas like going, whoa. It was just great. Joey Martinez and those guys, man, they just did an awesome job with the bass line. We infused some new staff into the mix, and you know, a little old new borrowed blue. And it's cool because anytime you bring someone new into the Cavaliers, they kind of bring in what their interpretation of Cavalier excellence is, which is awesome, because that means we've been putting that out for so many years, that it's a staple of everyone's kind of interpretation of the core, which is awesome. So everybody kind of brings some new energy, and, you know, we're doing that again this year. But you know, Russell is homegrown, and he did a great job with the bass break for sure. And this tune was just basically about anything you can do, I can do better kind of vibe. You know, the drumline was fairly dormant, you know, throughout the show. You know, letting the brass and the color guard really sing. So this was a chance for the percussion to kind of show off a little bit.
And
I think too. Sorry, Mike, but to cap off on what you were saying about Russell's arrangement of this, I've always found as a viewer, it's much easier to appreciate things instead of it just being like a ram the whole time, where you have like those unisons that are a little bit more digestible on a first take as a spectator, and then it allows you to read what's happening in between, like all the splits and the crazy bugadas and lasers and stuff like that, because you get that juxtaposition of like open to like really dense notes there. And I did see that Facebook video where somebody took it up like all the way at the top, and they just ripped that split, and you can hear the space.
Yeah, and the guys are screaming. It reminded me of the video someone took of the spinning tenors. Like, the guys just went crazy, you know. And if you can get that reaction out of one person, like, that feels so good. You know what I mean? Evan, you really said it. Digestible. I mean, setting those windows allows, you know, everything to kind of pull back in and then be crazy, versus just insanity the whole time where you're just trying to, like, you know, digest it.
What just happened?
And to me, as like a snare jock, those unisons give me a second to like, oh, hey, dum-dum, listen to the bass line. They're about to do something cool.
I'm still in it. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, so it allows you to orient yourself as an audience member for what's about to come, pretty much.
Well, the fact that it was effective in totality versus, you know, just the bass heads, you know, the nerds were like, oh my God. That's what I thought was really cool about it. And the presentation, like, the guys killed it. I could not be proud. You know, we didn't have a lot of time to rehearse, but man, it just crescendoed Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I just could not be more proud of the staff and the membership for that.
It's what you want. So I'm going to rewind a little bit, and we're going to listen to the bass break one more time. Probably going to go back a little far.
We get the quad wave.
We'll see. Yeah. Won't cut it off in the middle of it. nice. Woo! That was it. There's the wave, uninterrupted. Is that a quad feature?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole drum feature was in the closing tune, right?
Miles Kenobi wrote that. Incredibly talented young guy from
I bet the snare feature's coming up.
Arizona.
Nice. I love those presses.
Sauce.
Give it to me. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here real quick and say that sounds like a Josh Brickey lick.
Yeah, that's great ears, gentlemen, because it was. Yeah, so Josh and I play a lot of online poker together. Like we have this kind of band geek circle of guys that play, and girls. And I bet Josh, one of the hands, said if he beat me, he could write the snare break. And him, he screenshot it and held me to it. I would have honored it, and I did. So Josh got to write the snare break. So Josh won the 2021 Cavaliers snare break off of me in a poker game.
Do you remember what the hand was?
Yeah, what did he beat you with?
I probably had quad aces, and he had 4 suited, and probably hit like, I don't know. I guess he wouldn't win. I had a set of aces, and Josh had 4, 7 unsuited, and 5, 6, 8 came on the flop. So
Oof.
Josh, I can't remember what it was. But, Josh only plays quality hands like 7-4 offsuit and then wins snare breaks with 7-4 offsuit. I don't know. He probably kicked my butt fair and square. And he just absolutely kicked it with the snare break. I was very proud of what he wrote. I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to do this. And, Josh is a junkyard dog and just a master teacher. And they did. They played the hell out of it. They owned it. Ownership.
They did. There's some sauce in there.
They did. We're gonna go ahead.
I could just picture Josh do like, oh, no, they got it. That's fine. They got it.
Yep.
That's fine.
All right, I'm going to rewind and not talk over anything. We're going to listen to the quad and snare break one more time, and then we'll let it keep rolling. Get the wave in there again.
That groove from 95 Cadets fully ripped it off.
Ooh.
This groove here. Dooka dooka dooka. Doop. Dooka dooka dooka. Doop.
If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
It stuck with me, which tells me the universe is saying you got to use this somewhere in your life, and I did.
100%. Love it. The tasteful backstick and the high mom.
We had this crazy scat going on with the chord during that section, A, B kind of thing.
Yeah.
I always wanted to write an Excel. This is ode to the 82 Blue Devils, and I did.
There you go.
love it.
I like this lick right here. Sweet Tim Jackson body right there.
Is he around? I thought I saw him in a video.
Yeah, he does our body last 2 years.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Tim was involved at all in the activity anymore, besides X. I don't even know how much involved in that with that he is.
That Mac roll right there was not in there,
Pause
but they
real
were
quick.
staged perfectly for it. They were staged perfectly for that Mac roll, and I was like, gotta put it in there. Literally,
I mean, it's
I think
named
it was,
after you, so...
And I don't know why. I mean, I just that's how my hands work. I'm sure Scott Johnson, originated it from somebody. But I I was like, we
I feel
got to
like it
have
was
one
very
right there.
highlighted in the 07, 08 years, and everybody's just like, all right, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm down. But then Mike Martin was like, "Hey, we're thinking about putting a vocal here," and I was like, please don't do that. Although I did like the idea of the vocal, and Mike Martin suggested, I was like, let's not do it because it just, there's a certain thing I wrote there for the snares, for the crowd, for whatever fans of the activity, and it was just a perfect, they're four steps off the front sideline
For the members.
for the members,
like,
yeah.
Well.
Sure. I get a Mac
For
roll.
yourself.
They get me, laying on my side, watching them warm up. The whole Mac experience, I guess. I don't know.
Waving at them.
I mean, when the show just kind of tells you what to do, you can't deny it. I mean,
music. If you listen, music's telling you what to write. You just gotta listen.
Well
Amen
said.
to that.
All right, let's hear this Mac roll again. Might get the HL again, actually, too.
Nah, we already went through that. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we've already gone through it.
Okay.
Little shout out to Colin. Right here.
Woo! Oh! Ooh, slow it down.
That was the end of the show, right?
Yeah, Easter
Okay.
Egg City in there for sure.
That sounds loud.
Hey, so pause this just real quick.
Yep.
So this is the by Carnival, and this tune was hard to write because it's very double bass. It's basically just, that's why sometimes guitar tunes don't work well, because there's not a lot there to interpret unless you're at a concert and it's a guitar playing, and then it works perfectly. It's like going to Dave Matthews, or your favorite band. You listen to the lyrics and you're like, that sounds amazing, but then you hear a band do the lyrics and you're like, oh, that sounds terrible, because lyrics just don't groove on wind instruments for some reason. Same thing with this. This was hard to write, but there's a ton. I just said, forget it. I'm just gonna write a fun book. It's like one step above a college marching band. Rock'em Sock'em. With a little bit of artistry in there, but there's a ton of shout outs to 2011. There's some shout outs. You heard that ending, which is a shout out to 92, and then when they started the show in 93. So that was a cool way to do that from the Cavaliers. But all these little Easter eggs, that's what write them in and let the guy enjoy them playing that. I thought that was really cool. For the guys kind of thing, especially the bass line here. I kind of inverted the rim shot lick from 2011. There's probably a couple other ones in here that I used. There's some rim knocker stuff that's actually a shout out to On the Waterfront. It's just very quick and it's very inside and it's way over cleverized, but just so you know, now kind of thing.
I love On the Waterfront.
I'll point it out to you. You'll see it.
All right.
Here's On the Waterfront.
There it is. The four Spock.
I love that quad lick with the snare kind of like background in the background a little bit with the cross sticks and everything.
The dynamic interplay.
Yeah.
I love that right there with the quads. Simple crescendo, decrescendo, super.
I was getting ready to say that was really well
Yeah.
handled. And harder than you'd think, too.
Cool marimba dialogue right there with Cliff Walker's writing.
Is that a double stop? Okay. Did it?
Triplet. First two triplet partials.
Okay.
Little shout out to Crown's opening statement, maybe from 2019. This is a shout out from the 60, I think it's the 64 Cavaliers. kind of a replication
I
on a
love
theme
this
there.
part.
It's really cool.
And then into the immediate double time.
The fours.
Woo!
Hard to be creative in duple. There's the reverse rim shot.
Oh, nice. Love it.
I love that release there. So this is the brass feature. Notice the percussion aren't playing. So note to young percussion writers. Don't even look at them. You'll only encourage them. The brass are playing.
You got a shout out on one of your 07 tapes from the judge for the Tacit Time. I think it was Prospery.
Oh, really?
I think it was in that finals tape. He was like, love the exposed horn moment and not overriding. I'm almost certain that's in that tape.
That's cool. Thank you, Jeff.
The epic J-Bricks claps. Those paws.
Little shout out to Spin Cycle. Cool right hand excel here. Right here.
Woo. I also really missed the sticks in. That was so like just a good way to end that phrase, like visual or audio wise. Sticks in, and then the visual across the hat. Yeah.
There were a few groups that brought the sticks in back a little bit. I loved all the callbacks that happened this season. You had a bunch of callbacks on the writing and the show. I know other groups that we've watched before had stuff that was like, I know the Cadets especially did a bunch of callback stuff. Like, it was really cool, like, as a drum corps nerd, basically, like most of us are. It was just really, I appreciated it as a fan.
It was written for you guys. It was, it was just one of these from us. Big time.
Well, I mean,
what a year and opportunity for people to just be like, yeah,
we're just gonna do this now because why not? And we said this before we started recording, and I'm gonna bring it up here on the recording that like we were stunned at how good a lot of the groups were able to get in the shortened summer, and I don't know if it was just, and you can probably speak more to this than Evan or I, as neither of us taught this summer, but did the increased sense of urgency kind of be like, hey, we don't have 90 days to do this, so let's get on it? Or was it a little bit by design, things were a little easier, combination of both? Like, because it really, really blew me away.
A lot of planning. Go ahead. How the top groups kind of got their act together?
Yeah, it's just like, I expected there to be like a significant decrease in the playing quality, but it really, there were a few more scratchies than you would hear across the books, but the top group still pretty much was just like, wow, that was pretty damn good.
I mean, the only time it got real was like, it's July 9th and you're hearing day 3 of Move In and you're like, man, that's got some raw late May sounds to it. Mm-hmm. There's like a golden sunset in drum corps, and it's along the lines of winter. Like WGI, they don't practice as much, but there's such an emotional push to get clean. We had that around the end of June. It's like June 28th when you just pop the show, and then you spend a couple weeks, trying to get back to that because it was an emotional high, and then now you're kind of embedded in the season. You're really cleaning and churning on the show. So I think we kind of hit it in that sweet spot, and there was a ton of planning that went in. Russell and those guys were great with, I think it was mind, hands, body. So mind in April, like hands in May, and get your body in shape in June and hit the ground running in July. We had a ton of rehearsals. The music got done maybe 3 weeks, like the last piece. I think I wrote the opener last and I handed that out like maybe 3 weeks before moving. I can't remember. But a lot of thought went in, conscious effort went into realizing, design-wise, programmatically, rehearsal-wise, physically where the kids were at, because, like the front ensemble, they just didn't come in with those raw chops that you develop over 6 weeks of, rock star in the Cavaliers pit, so we had, there were some things, there were injuries we dealt with, but the guys handled it super well. Really proud of them. So yeah, just glad it came across. Glad you guys enjoyed it.
No, it was really cool show. Dug the writing. Just seemed like a perfect opportunity of a season to do exactly what you guys did. And it was really cool. Came off really well.
Appreciate that.
Done.
Thank
2021 in the books. I would call it an incredible success for the corps, the activity for drum corps to just keep this thing going, to make sure that kids, staff members, designers, the activity has a forward momentum going into next year. I couldn't imagine what position we would be like if we didn't actually have the summer. I think we're in a much better place now than we would have been had they had people just like, nah, we'll fold it in. So kudos to the staffs. Obviously, kudos to these members. It'll be on to the next thing, I guess. Already designing for 2022, and then you've had some stuff yourself kind of popping off in the world of Michael McIntosh as it relates to the activity and new things, fresh things you're bringing. When's all that stuff gonna come down the pipe? At least I saw the stick post the other day.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it. So, the ProMark thing, I made the move to those guys because I just think that they're like Apple. They're capable of anything. So when I told them, hey, I saw this incredible car in my neighborhood, this Jaguar SUV, and it looks white, but it's really got this, like if you washed a blueberry with your load of whites, it's got a blue tint to it when you really look deep. They actually got that color. They reverse engineered it. And that was the color of the new Mike McIntosh signature snare stick that is popping off, I think, last week. I just got an update. Tons of sales in Japan, which is great. But yeah, the first stick came out. It was a long time coming. And it's basically going to be one of 6 implements. We're already working on, I don't know if you can see that little shorty action kind of vibe for the quads. So it'll be 6 sticks,
oh, yeah.
a suite of products, which will, empower you to get some great sounds. And we feel like this is the next iteration of implements for, the new millennial of percussionists. Like what do things sound like in an amplified world now, with mallets, with sticks, with what's required of the performers from a visual standpoint. So, it's just a drumstick, but we think it's a great start and a great step in the next direction, whatever that is.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I appreciate the shout out for sure.
All right. Well, this has been half podcast, half reaction video. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Check out LoneStarPercussion.com for anything you need in your percussive equipment world. Use the code Aged Out, save yourself $10. Check out the podcast, like I said earlier, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Subscribe, like, comment, blah, blah, blah. Mike, this was great. Always a good time hanging out. I'm sure it won't be the last time we get to hang out with you on here. So everybody,
I hope not.
Yeah.
This is one of the coolest hangs, man. I really believe, you guys are turning into influencers, which I love, and this is just so laid back. I never can turn down an invitation from you guys, so I really appreciate the opportunity.
No, thank you. We appreciate it. So again, Innovative Percussion, check out their channel, subscribe to their channel, support the entire activity. We're all out here for the same reason, watching, performing, playing, learning, growing, getting better. So we'll see everybody in the next one.
Peace.